everyone. Welcome. This is Lynn Serrano, and I'm super, super excited. I've been in the club lately, so some awesome people I've been meeting in the club. We'll talk about that later, but this is Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud. And so let me show you a little montage of the person I have here, and let's have fun. So thanks for being with us. AmyLee is in the house. Welcome, girlfriend.
Hi.
I am super, super stoked. We haven't gotten to talk much, nor even video. This is our first video chatting, so this is super cool. No, actually, we talked really quick the other day.
We talked really briefly the other night when I was like dead to the world, and don't ask me what we said because I don't remember.
I know, but I'm super glad that you took time out for me in this 50 minutes to really get so much going here. I think AmyLee has cracked the code. I really do. And I'm really honored that I found her on the Clubhouse. So I'm going to let her introduce herself a little bit. And then you're really going to get to know AmyLee and what she does. And I think this is a worthy one to share out because if you pay attention, there'll be a lot of nuggets along the way. So go ahead, Amy.
Hi, guys. My name is AmyLee Westervelt. I am a mom of 5. I live outside of Savannah, Georgia, and I am a dream design coach. I help people figure out what they really want, not what everybody else wants or what they think they're supposed to want. I help them really connect to their soul's vision for their life so that they can design and build their dream lives and manifest and live them. So I love what I do. I work with mostly empaths and intuitives and highly sensitive entrepreneurs. And yeah, I'm glad to be here with you, Lynn. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm gonna razz you about that too later, as far as you help intuitives, and people anxiety and all this stuff, because I'm one of those. I'm intuitive, and I'm an introvert and all these things. So it's just funny because I was like, when you're healed from a lot of that stuff, you still have those little parts of you that go there. So I was like, that's embarrassing. Like, why would I tell anybody I went to AmyLee to help me? Because I'm sharing my vulnerability by just saying I'm associated with you. When you think about it, it's kind of funny. And then you're like, wait a second, I'm in the I don't give a shit zone anymore. So it's okay. I just have to say that because it really is really cool. Veronica's in the house. Speaking of Veronica, just speaking of Veronica, you know this is coming, unfortunately, because you did one for her. But here's her message.
I don't know that.
AmyLee, I am so excited that I get to leave you this message and just tell you how amazing you are. You help so many different people. You help them get in touch with what it is they want, all the things that they thought they wanted, their dreams, their desires, their passions. You are a gifted and talented human being, and what you do for the world is truly phenomenal. So just thank you for being who you are, the stand that you are for people, and all the skills and energy you put into helping people be great. So I hope that you are enjoying your visit with Lynn, and that you get to share more about who you are with the world.
So gorgeous. Is she not the most gorgeous creature? I'm like, I think she's talking, but I'm just looking at her.
Oh, I just think this is so great. We're already getting lots of love. So Veronica, thank you so much for that video. You are beautiful, and it's just so awesome. Erica, thank you for being here. This is just so great. We got AmyLee being followed on the Clubhouse. Absolutely. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Robert. Hi, Sandy. Okay, so I'm just super excited. We're just going to take a little walk down here and answer some questions, and we're going to have so much fun, and we're going to ask her about this dream building later. So I'm just super excited. It's just going to go by so fast, AmyLee. But here we go. So real quick, what meaning does living your best life have for you personally? And I'm sure in your line of work and what you do, it's so funny because you're always asking people this for themselves, but I'm not sure how often people ask this question of you. So this is definitely a telltale. Give us your best shot on this question.
Yeah, absolutely. So, living your best life. So for me, I made the $1 million in network marketing. I had all this stuff. We could just wave our hands and buy anything. I mean, we had 6 figures in the bank account. It was great. However, it was a very lonely, very unfulfilling existence. And so when I rewrote the story of my life, it was really important to me that I have those moments that I was missing, like my daughter's first steps. I'm sure you heard about that. I missed that. I missed a lot of opportunities to be with my kids. So for me, living my best life is in enjoying the mindfulness of the little moments. Like truly, I get so much enjoyment out of just pouring my kids, a glass of water and like watching them drink it. And I know that sounds so trite, but honestly, like I work like a dog and I love it. I love what I do. I love my clients, but on Saturdays, those are my days for my kids. So we all dog pile in my bed and watch TV and it's mom time. And then we do like, a craft together or watch a video or we all have a fun dinner. And so that's really what living is about for me, because all that other stuff, you can buy stuff, but you can't create those formative relationships out of nothing. So that's honestly mine.
Being intuitive really helps a lot. I'll just say that because I decided to like go to your web or go to your page and I found something that just meant a lot to me and I knew it would mean a lot to you and I was going to have you explain it sometime, but when she talks about these little moments, and I'm glad you recorded this little moment because that's how little the moments are cherished. And I cherish this little video too that I'm going to share. Here we go. Folks, that's what I'm talking about, carrying the little moments. And
Yeah.
I am so glad I listened to myself to know that that's what she's talking about. It's a
Yeah.
little moment of watching a stinking balloon go up and the excitement of those kids. And I would never expose your kids and show them online, but I was glad that I could find something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, they were so excited that we rescued her because she went all the way up into the thing and she's like, no. And that was from her birthday, I think 2 years ago, but we found them again. So we laughed about it.
no, I thought that was great. And I've been so busy too. It's like we just booked this the other day. So I was like, I got to do my homework on her and I got to do this, I got to do that because that's my show. I just have a lot of passion when I do this to celebrate
It
everybody.
feels
It
really
comes.
good to me. It feels really good to be
Aw.
seen as a person and not just how can she fix my life. So
Well, and that's what the show is for, AmyLee. And let's go to the love, and I'll explain that more to you. What do you love in your life other than your family? I know the answer, but for
I would
you,
say, well, I mean, there's so many things, but I would say helping other people see themselves as amazing as I see them. Like I truly enjoy, like people don't see themselves how incredible they are. And like, so I love like showing them that and having them one day, even if it's just for a minute, just really be like, wow, I really am who you say I am. And I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, yes.
yeah, we are reflections of one another, and for some reason, the glass is always smoky mirrors, and people don't see what truly they are. I mean, it's just like losing your vision, or there's no clarity there. So my next question here is, what things have you let go out loud? And this is the part of my show of that just not living, loving, and laughing. You can't do those things and fulfill them until you let go of the bullshit and all the stuff in your life to actually put things in perspective. So here, I'm sure if you want to share with everybody your vulnerabilities of what you truly got out of the way. And to me, and I believe everyone I've had on my stage is, first of all, is getting out of your own way. And so if you can share how you got out of your own way and where you are, that would be great.
Yeah. So the thing that I had to let go of was giving an F what the trolls thought. So I've had in my time as network marketing and just critics and trolls, and I kept myself very small because I was afraid of what other people would think. When I went out and started coaching, there were people that were like, oh, well, who does she think she is? She's going to go coach. Nobody wants to listen to her. And I listened to them and I got really quiet and scared. And then one day I realized it wasn't about me. It wasn't about me and how I felt. It was about what I was here to do. The universe was like, all right, you're going to Earth. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be a light worker. Put your skin suit on. We'll see you down there. And I didn't have the luxury of just being, afraid. Like I had too much to do. So I had to let go of caring what other people thought. And it's funny, when I got on, Clubhouse, which is where we met, when I got on Clubhouse, I went in there with like, I have messages to share and I don't really care if I'm popular and I don't really care if people don't like it. And it was the first time that I was valued for my authenticity and the way that I was. And one day I just kind of was like, I think somebody told me, I don't remember, but somebody was like, you love Clubhouse because you are loved for who you are. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like I'm who I actually am and people enjoy that. And so I know I probably skipped 7 questions like you told me not to, but that probably is the biggest thing. When I go in there and I talk or when I do a live, I don't really care who agrees with me. I'm here to speak my truth. And some people will resonate. Some people will think I'm nuts. More power to both of them,
I actually look forward to talking to you about that stuff candidly here like nobody else, because I see you because we're reflection of each other. So I get that. But before we get in depth and all that, I'm going to say, what makes you laugh other than me? And you're like, I don't know about you, Lynn, because
you make me laugh. Lynn,
I don't see how, because I usually stay quiet, but I usually have stuff like this, though.
I may not be TikTok famous, but I have never posted a video of me shaking my butt for likes.
And if the beat live, Lil Juke made it. Yaddy, 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 yaddy.
See, I had to make sure I made you laugh so that I can stand on the point of, other than Lynn making you laugh, what else makes you laugh?
Okay, so the thing that my husband always plays when I get like in a really bad mood, and it's so generic and so OG, but is that cat playing the piano. Like I love that when he's like dun 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 dun. Like I love that.
Oh my gosh, that's too cute. That's too cute. Okay, I got another message for you.
Okay.
Hi, Amy. I'm so glad you're getting to talk to Lynn today. Her show is just absolutely fabulous. I met Amy when we were growing up. We're both from the same hometown, and we became friends in high school, and we were blessed enough to reconnect afterwards. And now we're getting to work together on her upcoming children's book, which is absolutely adorable for any child who's an animal lover and for any parent who just wants their kid to know that there's something very special inside of them. Amy, what I can say is that I absolutely love everything that you do to help people discover what's special about them. You help people feel comfortable in their own skin. You help people believe in themselves and their dreams. And that is a gift that is invaluable. So please continue the amazing work that you're doing to change lives and help people believe in themselves. I think you have an amazing ability to use your own past hurts and mistakes for the betterment of others. You reflect and you learn, and that other people are blessed by that. It's amazing. So keep up the awesome work. I'm so thankful to have you in my life, and I can't wait to see where everything you're working on goes. Keep dreaming big. Love you, girl.
Oh, isn't that the
creature?
Yes, that's sweet. Isn't that sweet? I just love it. Okay, so I'm going to throw this at you.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
All right, Mom, this is coming out, so get ready. When I was growing up, my stepdad was a police officer. And one of the things that my stepdad got to do as a police, not got to do, but what they did was confiscate alcohol from minors. So I, trying to be the cool girl in school, decided that I was going to be the delinquent supplier of the cool guys from junior high. Junior high, I was in 7th grade. So my brilliant plan was to take this 6-pack of Zima because that was a thing at the time, this like barely alcoholic drink, and go put it in the back of my yard in the corner so that like people could like come around the out, like through the golf course, back down through my neighborhood, like come or back through my backyard and grab it. And, you know, they didn't need to pay me. It was just, I was just being cool. Somehow my friend who is going to watch this and be like, I know, I'm so sorry. But one of my friends decided to rat me out to my parents. So that Thanksgiving, the DARE officer, if you guys know what DARE is, right? To keep kids off drugs, came and lectured me at my house on Thanksgiving morning about drugs and alcohol and I, you know, as the daughter of a police officer, it's like, looked real bad. So that was probably the most trouble I've ever been in my life. And it didn't make me any cooler with the kids in school. And that was quite the pickle I got myself into.
And now that you've mentioned that pickle story, your kids will never be able to watch this until they're 30 and married and have children, and they share it with the grandchildren. So thank you for that. That's definitely being in a pickle. So I'm going to go down to this really quick. Can you recall a time in your life where you said, I would never do, that you ended up doing?
Oh, just one.
Well, give me a couple, because my point is I try to let my audience know that with this question alone, people need to realize what they say reflects and comes back to them. Everything does. Everything truly does. Especially the ones that come faster is the ones that when you say you're never going to do something. So I tell everybody I'm never going to be a billionaire, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you got to prove yourself wrong, right?
Yep, I'll never be a billionaire.
Something that I would never do, that I said I would never do, is I would never plan my content in my group. Hi, Mitch. I said I would never plan my content. Like, that's so inauthentic. And like, oh my gosh, like you can't like already know what you're going to say. And I realized that was me not having my shit together. So I have a new phrase. You can use it if you'd like. It's called, it's spiritual to have your shit together. And so that is something that I am now, you know, I'm very much more organized. I have a plan for what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to say. I realize there's power in being a leader and leading people along a journey. And it's not cute or fun to be like, oh, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And so in doing that, I have seen my business grow exponentially. So for those of you that are hanging on tightly to, I just don't want to plan, just plan and make all the money and be happy.
Absolutely. I'm going to go down to this question real quick. What makes a person beautiful to you?
I can see people's like essence in their eyes. So I watch people's eyes, and when a person is, you know, either a light worker or just really has a heart for others, I can see that, and it reflects in their whole face. It's why the two people that you had speak just now, the first thing I said was how beautiful they were, because I see that in their eyes and in the essence of who they are. They're both just incredible women, powerhouse women who could absolutely have their way with anything, but their chief purpose in life is to put others forward. And that's why they're both so incredibly successful.
Oh, I love them. I got to spend an hour each with them, so it was pretty exciting. And this question, it usually reflects what that person is too. And I see that in your big brown eyes. But let me ask you this. How does that work for you on Clubhouse? Because you don't get to see people's eyeballs. So I need to ask, how do you compensate in that? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure tonality in their voices, but still, you know what I mean? You probably study their picture then.
No. So when it comes to Clubhouse, it's all about vibration, right? Because sound is vibration. So you can feel the vibration of a person. And I think that when we are deprived of all of our other senses, it kind of forces us to take our highest self to that place. And so for me, I mean, I'm an empath, so I feel people's energy anyway. So I can tap into people's energy pretty easily, even just from like Facebook posts. Like I can feel people. So you can actually take that up a step when it comes to audio. And then you really are into a person's essence. I can usually read people pretty well just by their voice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I already had one of my personal friends ask me about Clubhouse. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, Jackie. But let me skip to this real quick. What are your big, hairy, audacious goals?
Yeah. Oh man. World domination. No. Well, from the time I was a little girl, I wanted to be a visionary. I wanted to be on stages with the brightest and the best. And, we're in the middle of COVID, so I'm on a virtual stage with the brightest and the best. So that's pretty cool. I want to write a book. I have a children's book that is in the process of being illustrated by the most incredible illustrator that Stacy's publishing for me. It's really great. I'm excited about that. I want to write an adult book someday, though. I would really love to create a certification program for dream design, since I am the original and only dream design coach, and have a whole little troop of other coaches that coach my programs out in the world in different, kind of like a franchise way. Like there'll be like Australian ones and, people, Japan and all these other places. So that's something I would love to own a vacation property in like a Gulf Coast, like Gulf Coast, Alabama or something really beautiful on the ocean, and raise 5 beautifully conditioned, what's the word? Socially responsible children who grow up to be incredible contributing members of society.
Well, you probably don't want me to use the word condition, because knowing you're probably going to allow them to actually, you're going to evaluate them. I'm hoping to have a development of something online for parents to be able to let their kids, and I shouldn't even use the word free range, but what I'm saying is I know that you're going to allow to see whether they're into music or the arts or into sports, and condition them that way. But I don't know if the word condition is a good word.
Not the right word. It's more,
no,
it's more
like develop. How about develop into who they are?
Like being prepared, right? Being prepared for the world and understanding how the law of attraction works. Like my kids, they all have their own affirmation cards. They're into gratitude. They've never been exposed to a world where they can't. So I would their power. So that's how
I would definitely say develop, because we don't want to put that verbiage on them for sure. So yeah, that's definitely what I would say. Oh, now this is an interesting question. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
One time, so my best friend and I were out.
A band camp?
What's that? Yeah, a band camp. No. So my best friend Sarah, who actually is best friends with Stacy too. So back in the day, my best friend Sarah, I've been friends with her for 25 years. One day we were driving, and I was driving, which is never a good thing. And I had this harebrained idea to drive. It was a Sunday. It was like 2:00. I had this harebrained idea to drive to South Deerfield, Mass, to go to the Yankee Candle Factory. And if you've never been to the Yankee Candle Factory, it's like amazing. There's like this Bavarian Christmas village inside. It's kind of like a theme park. It's free though, because it's a store, right? So like you go in and it's like the ceiling's all black and there's giant trees and you can buy ornaments and there's like places to buy toys. And it's just this whole immersive experience for Yankee Candle. I decided to go there on, it was like 2:00 on a Sunday, and I kidnapped my best friend. There's pictures online. You can see them. But what was interesting, it was Thanksgiving weekend. So we sat in like 150 hours of traffic on the way home, coming back from South Deerfield, which is like almost in New York, I guess. But like at the time, I didn't realize it was that far away. So it's like, oh, let's just go to it. Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours that way. And then she was ready to murder me by the time we got home. But yeah, so now she calls me spontaneous because I do things like that. Because
I love that. So now I'm going to get into this little bit of special questions here, because I'm dying to know some of these answers too. So before I get into that though, I'm going to go here and okay, so I figured I wanted to pack as much as I could in this time that we have and let you sit back for a second. I grabbed a little video of, you'll see the passion Amy has for what she does, and she sums it up really well in this video, and I'm glad I found it. I snatched it. Yes, I snatched it. And here it is. And then we're going to get back to talking to her.
Like, what does dream design mean and why it is crucially important for you as an entrepreneur, but really as a person, as a human being? Why do you need to design your dreams? I'm going to tell you 3 different reasons. First thing, put the universe to work. What do I mean by that? Figure out what you want. And then once you do that, the universe will do the work of finding it for you. Second thing, when you design your life, the outcomes you are looking to get matter to you. There is a very real difference between something that you design and something that you settle for. When you know what it is you're shooting for and what you really truly desire, you're gonna do the work to get there. The last thing that I wanted to share, that when you know what you want, the planning part is easy, because then it's just a matter of numbers and logistics. And so easy because you're doing the hard work first. You're making those plans.
Okay, everybody, some of you are sitting here going, yeah, I've heard this, I know that, blah, blah, blah. But if you go back and listen to that, there's so much meat to that. And, you know, it's funny, people don't understand. There's just not one way to get somewhere. There's freaking many ways to get where you want to go. You can either take the long way or the short way, or take it from people. I'm 55, man. It's taken me a long time to realize all the pieces I've had all through my life to get where I'm at now. And so that's why I love my show here, as far as shaking people up and waking them up and realizing you know, I mean, there's a lot of traumatic shit that we go through. I mean, I've been drugged behind a vehicle. I've lost a child at birth, childbirth. I mean, you name it. I've almost died many times. I mean, I've lost my mom. I've lost 2 siblings. I mean, you just name it. But you know what? Things are going to happen to us in our life. What we need to do is shake out of that and realize that there's different seasons and times in our life. And Amy, I feel like you have found a map that can truly help a lot of people. And I'm honored because you just invited me to your community of 2,000 people. And this is just, I did this little montage of, I went in there and snatched pictures again. And look at, she has people come in there to guest and talk that have experienced stuff. And I mean, she truly, she's gotten out of her own way to share other people's viewpoints. Because when you do realize how life, you can either still be a victim or you can be a conqueror, which I love Rob Sperry's book as well, is that when you realize that you've got to get over your story and go on, or you're going to be stuck. It's like if you're driving down the highway and I've driven in a blizzard, so I can say this, you're either going to keep driving through the blizzard and realize that it got better, or you're going to stay in that blizzard and get buried. I mean, you only have 2 choices, people. And so I'm really happy that you had that little video for the nutshell. So I've got some questions here. So how long have you done what you do?
So I've kind of been coaching for my whole life. When I was in the network marketing company, the part that I really enjoyed about it was coaching and helping people. So I'd say probably, if you were to ask, including that, probably about 7 years. But before this, I was coaching empaths and highly sensitives, just on being empaths and highly sensitives. And although I liked that, I really wanted to help them actually do something. And so Dream Design was actually born in June of last year. So it's not even a year old. And it's the most incredible work I've ever done in my life. It lights me up in no other way. And I'd say a little less than a year.
Well, you know, it's just as funny. I laugh personally because I'm intuitive. I'm an empath. I'm all these things that whatever. And I'm still just hung up. It goes to show you got to keep yourself in check. It still makes me laugh to think that you're calling all of us out that aren't those people. I mean, it's good, but it's funny because the ego wants to keep you down. And so I think it's a great concept that you have here, and that you truly are helping people get out of their own way, get out of their own ego. I think many of us stay in our egos.
Just because I love you and I want to rework this for you right now. Can I do a little coaching thing?
Sure, go for it. Go for it.
So one of the things I heard you say is that your ego tries to keep you down. And I want you to change your perspective of your ego. And I want you to imagine. Okay.
Actually, no, I'm over that. I'm saying for other people, as far as
Okay.
I'm
Because what I was
speaking
going
as,
to say,
but sure, go ahead.
yeah. So what I was going to say is that the ego is like kind of like if you think of like Rapunzel in the tower. Your ego is like your like helicopter mom. Your ego just wants to keep you safe. And a lot of people think like, oh, I just didn't, my ego is blah, blah, blah. But it's what it really is it's trying to keep you alive. And so what
Right.
I've learned to do and what everybody out there could do is start to think of your ego as like that grandmother that's like, don't put a sweater on, right? Like it's not trying to hurt you. It's just trying to protect you. And so what I do whenever I feel that, when I'm like, oh, this is keeping me small. It's like, thank you so much for trying to protect me. Thank you so much for caring enough about me that you want to preserve me, but I've got this. I've got this and I can do this. And so I've found that just kind of having that conversation with that part of me kind of as it go, all right, okay, but just call me when you get there. Goodbye. You know what I mean?
I love that. And you know what? I'm glad you gave me analogies because I love analogies. And so I just never know how to explain to my friends and to my audience that that should not keep you down. You should not stay inward and say, oh yeah, it is cold and I got to get a sweater on. And it's cold, and you go down that rabbit hole that's not good. And all ever want to do is shake people up and say, you know what, that's just your ego, because that's all they seem to understand,
Absolutely. And when you put it
and
that way,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, so I am, because people say to me, Lynn, how do you do what you do, what you've been through, and this and that and this and that? I'm like, forget about that. Just be. It's, I guess when it comes natural to you, it's always hard to explain to people how and how they can have the same thing. And so, and mind you, I've played the victim many times in my life, obviously, for have the things that I've gone through, but realize, just doesn't work. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Latina. I mean, I can have a good temper, trust me. You don't want to cross me, so to speak, but you know what? You don't want to think that way, because what you give out, you get back, people. So anyways, so how do you measure your success of your clients? Because, and I ask that question because people might be saying, because you put in your bio that you've helped thousands, and people may think that's bull crap. And it's not bull crap when people grasp what you're trying to teach them. But, and so actually, let me just, that question there, and then it goes with this too, is what feedback and results people are reporting to you that you've taught them. So if you want to explain that, that would be great, AmyLee.
Yeah, absolutely. So I say thousands because I was in a network marketing company and I had 10,000 downlines. And so I had people, I was constantly speaking on, smaller stages, mentoring people, helping people make more money, but also in coaching. I mean, I've had an impact on several people there too. So I do truly believe that I have impacted thousands. In fact, I know that when I joined the network marketing company, I was in the convention the first year and I taught attraction marketing. And then one of the other leaders who went on to become, a much bigger star there than me came back and said, I listened to what you said and I implemented that with my team. And that's how I got to where I got. So I know that if there were 25,000 people at one point in that company, maybe there were way more than that, probably 100,000 people. And I can stand here and confidently tell you that I think I impacted almost every one of them. So mic drop there. But how do I measure the success of my clients? I would say that my clients are better off than they were when they started. So they feel better about themselves. The two big things I deal with in my population are guilt. I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. And somebody else should have this. And overwhelm. I just can't even wrap my head around what this looks like or how to get there or what to do. So I'm just going to sit here and feel bad for myself. Those are the two things. So whenever anybody overcomes either one of those hurdles, that to me is a win in my book.
What I was going to say is a Glenn Morshower. I mean, I've known Glenn for about almost a year now, and I'm going to correct you in your verbiage for your bio, and you're going to know this the minute I say it, but I'm going to say it for everybody else. Is, it's not the thousands you've helped; it's the unlimited amount of people you've helped. Mm-hmm. And I think you know what I'm talking about when I say that now, because there is no limits. And so I'm glad we talked about that, so you can showcase that, because it truly is. you're just like me. You just wish you could shake everybody and give them the answers. And granted, you got to realize as an empath, you can't just read people without giving them permissions, but you also have to let them fall, because if they don't fall and they don't understand the stove's going to burn them, then they can't just take your word for it either.
Yeah,
So
it's like telling people that you like the color of their underwear, and they're like, "How do you know what my underwear?" It's like, I'm sorry, I don't. And how long did it
yeah.
take you? I don't know how long it took you, but for me, it took me years before I figured out that not everybody can do that, and I didn't understand why people were so weirded out by it. I thought everybody could see everybody's underwear. I had no idea that everybody didn't have that ability. And so once I figured that out, I was like, well, no wonder people thought I was weird.
Well, and the funny thing is, though, but what I did learn is that even though I knew I had that ability, I realized I couldn't put my abilities or what I knew to them, because sometimes they just need to fall and they need to find their own answers before you can help them. So yeah, it's, you don't want to be a loose cannon that way, but yeah, we're all born this way though, with these abilities. I wish more people realize that. So do you have any examples that people have actually come back to you and said, like testimonies that you could share one of them that were really cool?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I probably got 20 of them, but yeah, absolutely.
No, I
I had
know.
one gal that I worked with that came back to me and was like, I didn't even know I was allowed to have boundaries. And I was like, that was a big one for me. I was like, wait a second. Like, she didn't even here it was like what kind of boundaries to have and how to have them. She was stuck on even being allowed to have them. So that was a really big one. I had one client who I met with one time. He was this guy in Abu Dhabi. So I didn't charge him anything. He was living in like a tent or whatever. And I gave him some business advice, and he went on and signed a 6-figure client like the next day. So that was pretty cool. I've had people triple their income. I've had people find their soulmates. Gosh,
That's awesome. Oh no, we get the point.
Yesterday.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Yesterday I had a client who was like, I don't know if I want to do this new program you're doing, because I'm kind of in a money place. And I'm like, well, what is it that you need to make in order to do what you need to do? And she told me, and then I was like, okay, so this is what I want you to go do. And I gave her some ideas, and I told her about her mindset, and she came back 2 hours later and she's like, I just paid for your class ×2, and I have all the money I need to make for the rest of the month, and I can relax. And I was like, of course you did, because you put your mindset in it.
Okay, so how do you practice what you teach?
I read a lot. I practice treating myself the way that I would treat a client, which is hard, right? Because I have a lot of inner critic. I was the child of a narcissist, not my mother. You're welcome, Mom. My father is a narcissist. And so I grew up being very much taught that everything that was good for me was an agenda, that, I only helped people because it helped me. And so the way that I have to practice what I teach is to kind of be my own little AmyLee sometimes and say like, okay, all right, yeah, I know you triple booked your Tuesday and you've got so much going on, but listen, we're going to drink some coffee. We're going to go sit down. We're going to play video games for a couple. I have to talk to myself like I'm my own child sometimes. And that really helps. Yes. And I've found that I have an outer child and an inner adult, which most people have an inner child. I have to speak to my inner adult because the outside is like, yeah. So that's part of it. Yeah. And just really understanding that I'm my own client, guys. I'm my own client, and I care about my results the way I care about one of my clients. So if I would get on a message and be like, did you drink your water? I'm my own client. So I need to ask myself, did you drink your water? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you doing the things? Because I care about me. I love me like I love them.
Absolutely. So what challenges have turned into the biggest teachers?
Oh, the biggest teachers. Gosh, I think this one's a little triggery. So let me unpack it for no.
Okay, so let's. Oh, okay. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, I just mean let me unpack it a little bit.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge so the biggest teachers, and then maybe this will kind of tell you a challenge, is that because of growing up with a narcissist for a parent, I didn't listen to my intuition ever. I didn't even really know I had it. Apparently I have a really amazing one. A shaman friend of mine said that I have a laser third eye. Like I have like a bullshit detector, like a unicorn horn. So what the challenge for me was to listen to myself and know that I already had the answers. I used to always look for that coach, that guru, that person who could fix it. If this would just, and I realized that everything I need to know is already here. Like I'm at that point where I have the knowledge. And so I think the biggest challenge for me was to just recognize myself as my own guru, and that I would only ever be my own guru. Like nobody else could ever be that to me. And that has been the biggest teacher. Like, yes, other people have great things to say, but those things don't supersede what I feel and what I think.
Exactly. That was perfect. Yeah, I was married to a narcissist for 19 years, so I get it. I get it. But that's what was great. It never towered me down because I learned. What do you like most about the work you get to do?
I truly believe that the work I do is the work of healing the planet and healing the collective. And I know that when people get results, those people, because they're at their height. So I have a motto that only when we're at our highest vibration, taking optimal care of ourselves, do we do our greatest good in the world. So when I help someone, they get their higher vibration, they become a better them. And then whatever they do is better for it. And then so on and so forth. And so there's a ripple effect. It's kind of like pay it forward. There's a ripple effect that when I help someone, I'm helping the entire planet. And so I really love that aspect of it, because usually if I'm lucky, I'm still connected to that client. I can see what they go and do right away and see the impact, not so much, further down than that, but to about that point, I can usually see what it is that they do.
And that's funny because I've helped a lot of people one-on-one. I mean, since sixth grade, I mean, trying to help relationships and doing the three-way where my classmates didn't know the person they were having a conflict where they were right on the other line, and I would ask the right questions because I already knew this person cared, and they didn't want to, like, they were just being stubborn and stuff. So I would always get that one person on, and I'd have the other person on, and I'd have the conversation, say, yeah, but they didn't mean this, that. No, I know, but I don't know how to apologize. Well, you just did. I mean, like being on the phone with Lynn, you did not know that all she was doing is matchmaking and helping relationships be, better. And so, yeah, it's one of those things where it's very, very helpful. And but the times I was down, so many people came, very few came and some came to help me. And, it's just lessons you learn, and so it's really cool. What is it the least thing you like about what you get to do?
Every once in a while, when I make a bad boundary decision and I over deliver to a fault, I get one or two bad apples and they're not bad apples, but they're not ready to make the transition, and they don't do the work. And the first thing that they do when they don't do the work is to blame me that they didn't get the transformation. And so when that happens, my little empath heart kicks in, and then I feel really bad about it, and I personalize it and I take it upon myself, and I feel like it's my fault that they didn't get that transformation. But I know intuitively and like intellectually, I know that it's not my responsibility, right? I'm only and Brenda, my NLP coach, Brenda Jones, actually helped me with this.
Love.
She was like, this is the line. You come to here, they come to here, and you don't go any further than that. And that's not about not giving 100%. That's about not doing their work for them, because there ends up being resentment from that. So that's been the hardest thing, is that sometimes you want, and also like wanting to be closer to people, because I am a person who loves people. Like I invited one person into my home, and she ended up doing something. I'll tell you offline what she did. It was absolutely ridiculously mean and awful. And so I tend to try to make things too familial, and then that kind of bites me in the butt. So I've learned, even though I might love someone and think they're amazing and love their energy and want to be friends, I have to pull back a lot, because I have to create that boundary between, you pay me money and I help you, versus like, hey, let's, shoot the shit about what's going on.
Yeah, that's been my personal journey and problem is, but two things that helped me is I say, Lynn, no matter what, no matter whether they went sour or whatever, remember, you had the right intentions.
Mm-hmm.
You did what you can sleep with at night.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has helped me that way. But that's where I have stopped myself. And this year my word's vulnerable. So every stinking show I do, I'm vulnerable. So I'm going to be vulnerable here. There's many times people wanted to pay me for being, the messages, readings, empath, blah, blah, blah. But I've always shunned the money because I didn't want them to feel that, okay, I'm going to perform for you now because that money exchange.
Right.
And now I see that a little different. Now these people have gotten so much free services over the years with me that now it's like, okay, now I need help. I mean, this past year has financially done whatever to me, along with many other people. So I don't feel bad that way. I don't take it as a victim. I don't take that as a bad thing. I mean, I haven't gotten unemployment since July, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not even worried about figuring out, where's my government money? I don't even care. I'm paying my mortgage. I'm happy with that. But the reason why I say all that is that sometimes people do take advantage of people that are empathetic and intuitive, and they want all the answers. And I always tell people, I'm not giving you no lottery numbers because that's not how that works. What I do is I always confirm for people things they already know. And that's the channel I use. But again, it just truly is something that people try to take advantage of when you realize and creating your dreams are truly something that's real. I mean, it's so real that I'm very careful to contain my dreams because I know, anytime I set my mind to it, it's done. It's done. And, so now that I have the knowledge that that's how it's worked through for my life, I'm like, whoa, gotta be careful because it really does come true. And you've got to watch out because it's, so my vulnerability is that I have refrained from the monetary side because I don't, to me, it was like, look, you're not buying me or my expertise for you to feel like you own me. And that was a protective mechanism. And oh, thank you, Robert. Yeah, I mean, like I've got stories and stories. I've got to write books on the things with many people and stuff, and let that speak volume. But again, I thank you for being so forward and so willing to help so many people that need your help. And that's great. And I'm glad that you're having the self-care to actually know that, girl, you need to take care of yourself. Because we were in the clubhouse, and this is the little club. Well, yeah, look at all the clubhouse. I mean, yeah, she's showcased a few different clubhouse rooms and things like that, and clubhouse schedule and things like that. And she's going to be in the Tribune, and she's flourished, and it's really, really great. But I do know that one time you got all upset about somebody came in there, and you can tell how sensitive you can get personally, and that just shows what a big heart you have when it comes to that. So I truly love that you do put your heart on your sleeve and you carry it everywhere you go. And this has been really, really super fun. I remember at first when you were in Clubhouse and we were with Brenda, you'd be so quiet, and I just knew that you were just sulking. Your energy was so loud in there, even though you were so quiet. I could feel your energy. I could feel how much you were talking, but you were like, I'm not talking. So again, I really think that's why I said, do you practice what you preach? Because you got out of your shell. We were literally in rooms where actually you and I didn't even want to, neither one of us wanted to talk. And Brenda's like, somebody's got to talk to me here. But, it truly is coming to be who you are and sharing it with other people. And so I think it's great that you are finding your place and other people are finding you. And, one of my friends didn't realize this, but as far as Clubhouse, you can get an iPad and get onto Clubhouse with iPad too,
Yeah, that's
if you
how my
have an
husband
Android.
does it. My husband's a droid and he
Yes.
uses my iPad and he comes in.
Yes. So I think we need to get that out more, AmyLee, that people just need to go get an iPad so that they can join us over there, because it's a whole new world, and a world that a lot of people do need, except that there's issues over there too. Some people don't know
But
their
I also
boundaries
think
of time.
I think a lot of people that don't have iPhones don't have them because they're not Apple people. And so most of the
Right.
people that I said that to, they're like, I don't Apple. So I think there's a reason why
Yeah.
they don't have an iPad. They probably
Right.
have like
But now
a tablet.
right. And so now I have some friends that are going to join there that you'll get to meet. So I'm excited about that. So let me ask you real quick, how do you organize your time?
I have a time management schedule specifically for empaths. It's called Bookends. And so what I do is I have the same morning routine, I have the same evening routine, but I need the middle to be fluid. So I know at a glance what topic I'm going to do in that period, but I don't know what actual task, because I don't know what my energy level is going to be like. So that's kind of
Share
how
that with me later, girl. I need to know that information.
yeah, it's
Let's
part
see
of, so
here.
I have this course called the Unstoppable Empath course, and it's part of the it's my Bookends time management strategy for empaths. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So after the show, if you'll go ahead and put your link maybe to, do you take people, you invite people to your group? I mean, that's
Unstoppableempaths.com is my course. You can go there.
okay.
And then I also, my group is Dream Building Entrepreneurs.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. The dream build. It's okay for me to invite people there, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So what's your favorite thing to do when you have free time?
Nothing.
I love that, because that's how I feel too. Okay, so here we go. What about this? If you could start all over again, what would you do differently?
Love myself more.
I know, right? Absolutely.
Love
And not
myself
feel
more.
like we were.
Trust myself more. And love my mom more, not listen to my dad and the way that he painted her. You know, I look back at some of the impressions I had of her, and our relationship were very manipulative on his part. So I would go back and love her more too.
Aw. Well, what's your favorite quote?
There is always, always, always something to be thankful for.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I tell that when I hear people's tragic stories, I list to them, I kid you not, 10 things that could have been worse in their story. And I'm sorry, if some of my friends are listening, but when I'm done, it minimizes your story, and it makes them be very grateful that the story ended in their version, and it changes the trajectory of how they think on that. So absolutely. What have you learned that you wished you learned sooner? And you already answered that one. What kind of people do you most enjoy hanging out with?
I'm an introvert. I don't really enjoy hanging out. I like my free time. I like my lives. I like Clubhouse. But my idea of hanging out is what we call in child world parallel play. I like to hang out with my girlfriends, watching a TV show in the background while we're both looking at magazines, and we occasionally come up for air, but I'm not a big hangout person.
Yeah, I'm an introvert too. I'm an
introvert. So many people are like, "You're an introvert?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm an introvert too, and people are always surprised, but they don't understand. We work hard to get out of our way, is what it is. We know that nothing's going to happen if we don't make it happen. So, what tells you most about a person?
Whether they speak about other people or themselves.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
The always I factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have learned to catch myself when I say I, especially when I'm writing. I'm like, don't say I, just word it differently. It's just like, I don't like to always say I'm proud of you to my kids. It's so possessive or whatever, but yeah, it's anyways, do you know any jokes? I'm just asking for the heck of it. Okay. See, I just got.
They're kind of long though.
Oh, okay. But are they funny?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, we got 6 minutes here. Tell us a funny joke then.
Okay, fine. So there's a guy and he walks into a diner and it's a dirty joke. He walks into a diner
It's
and he
okay.
sits down at the counter and the place is like disgusting, right? So he's going to eat or whatever. And he says to the guy, hey, I want a cup of coffee. And he goes, yeah, whatever. And he turns around and he gets this cup of like moldy coffee and he pours it into the cup. And I can't believe this is the joke I picked. He pours it into the cup and he slams it down with the guy and he puts his thumb in the cup and he puts it down and he goes, anything else? And he goes, yeah, he said, I'd like a piece of pie over there on that plate. And so he walks over, there's all these flies and he takes this hand and sticks it on the pie and puts the pie on, slides it off. And he goes, anything else? He goes, no, that's it. He said, all right, that'll be $1.50. And the guy goes to give him the money and he hands him his card and he says, I'm from the Board of Health. I'm closing you down. So couple of months go by. Guy returns to the place. He goes in. The place is spotless. It's shiny. It's beautiful. He walks in. He sits down at the counter and he says, and the same guy comes over. He's got the little pointy hat on. He's all clean. He's clean shaven. And he says, hey there, sir. How are you? And he says, hey, I see you cleaned up the place. He says, oh yeah, what can I get for you? He says, well, I'd like a cup of coffee. He goes, certainly. And he walks over to the percolator. He grabs this beautiful shiny cup. He pours it in. He places it gently in front of the man. And he says, do you want anything else? And the man says, yeah, I think I'll take a donut over there. And the man walks over, he grabs a pair of tongs off the wall. He opens a dome. He puts the tongs in. He takes out the donut. He picks it up. He puts it gently on a plate with a napkin, places it in front of the gentleman. And he says, is there anything else? And he says, no, that's it. And he says, that'll be $2. And he says, he goes to pay him. And he says, I got to be honest with you. He says, I'm the same guy that was closing you down before. I feel really bad. He said, but I have a question. What is that string that you have hanging from your pants? And the guy says, oh, this? Oh, well, I really don't want you to feel bad. I did everything you said and I cleaned the place up and I really took the cleanliness to the next level because you're right. It was disgusting. So now I don't even touch myself down there. When I go to the men's room, I just pull the string and then I don't have to touch my pants. And the man says, wow, that's actually kind of innovative, but how do you get him back up? And he goes, oh, I use those tongs.
I bet you didn't think you'd go on an interview today and be telling dirty jokes.
I guess it's not really dirty. It's just kind of gross.
I love it. I love it. Oh, man. So let's see here. Okay, so really quick, what books recommendations do you think have been impactful in your life?
So I like the way you worded this because you didn't just say what books. You're saying like what books that people told you to read. So I love that. Okay, so definitely The Big Leap. Everybody and their grandfather's been telling me to read that, and I'm slogging through it right now because I'm a slow reader. I'm not a slow reader. I'm an ADD reader who doesn't allow myself to read. I'm actually a really fast reader. But so I really like that one. I would say The Alchemist is another good one. By Paulo Coelho. I really like that one. You're a Badass and You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. Those are ones that were recommended to me that I really love. And I would say probably Harry Potter because like everybody wanted me to read it and I didn't want to. And like I was like, everybody else is reading it. I'm not reading it. And then I read it and it was really actually really powerful. So yeah.
That's awesome. Matter of fact, I bought The Big Leap. I bought that book twice and I know I have it in my vicinity. I think I've been carrying it in a purse or somewheres. And I got to read that because Christina and I have been doing, she's doing the power of your genius zone. So I want to be more enthralled and to answer that. Oh, my friend Bob says a good joke. I heard that from Johnny Bench. Still a great one. I love that. This has been super, super fun. I truly hope that you felt loved, appreciated, and and I feel like we should do something again sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to be on my show too, right?
We haven't booked one yet.
Oh, we need to do that. Let me put that in my notes.
Oh, that would be only the second podcast I've done. I did one with Christopher Rausch. He's going to be on my show this week. I think I'm saying his last name right. So yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I vomited all my life and whatnot there, but you know, that's just how that goes. But again, this has been a super honor, a lot of fun. I will see you in the clubhouse as often as I can. Oh, there's Jamie Green, the solar queen. We love her. We love our girl there. So we'll be wrapping this up right now. It will be on YouTube as well. And if you can just stay right there, I'm going to do that cute little video I did at the beginning, which I thought it was sweet. You said, Lynn, I feel like a movie star. Or no, what did you say? How did it go? You said, feel like a superstar or something in that little intro video I did.
Oh, I definitely did feel like a celebrity. Yes.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad. So I'm closing out with that. You stay right there, AmyLee. Thank you so much for being here. You guys share this, and I think you'll find the little nuggets along the way. So have a good day. Keep laughing, keep smiling, and we'll see you later.